Hey everyone, welcome back to the Resolute Mindset. I thought I would jump in today and talk a little bit about firearm basics. So, I really think that any responsible, reasonable, mentally sound person should own at least one firearm. It is just something that I think you should invest in. Of course, I come from Canada, and we have very strict rules and regulations when it comes to firearms here in Canada. So in order to even have a firearm, you have to pass a safety course 1 day if you're just going for non-restricted, or 2 days if you're going for a restricted license. And then you have to apply. There's a huge background check done on you by the RCMP, and then you're able to start acquiring firearms. And of course, the restricted firearms you can only use on a certified gun range. So things like handguns can only be used in those certain specific places. So because I don't have a gun club membership yet, I don't have any purpose to have a restricted firearm because I have nowhere that I'm allowed to use it legally. So what are some of the basics? Well, basically, you always treat a firearm like it's loaded. You make sure that that you know what your target is and what is beyond it, because sometimes it can penetrate through the target and hit something behind it, so you need to be careful of that. You need to always protect your hearing, so wearing earplugs or ear muffs, and probably safety glasses if you don't already wear glasses like I do. And having the right firearm for the right job. So you wouldn't want to go bear hunting with a little tiny 22. You wouldn't want to try to hunt turkey with a deer rifle. There's different firearms for different purposes, and I think it is such a fun hobby to get into firearms, because it's just so fun. I can't even begin to describe how great it is to see what you're aiming at taken out. And I haven't even been hunting yet. I'm fairly new to the firearm community. It was about 5 years ago, Christmas Day 2016, my brother-in-law took me out to the firing range, and I got to try out his SKS, which is a semi-auto rifle, and a number of his handguns, and I was just like, this is amazing. So some of the basics, here are 4 different types of rifles that I think, or firearms I think that you should have just to cover your basics, and it all depends on what you want the gun for. So first, a good hunting rifle, a good deer rifle. It should have a scope on it. This one's Remington 785, so it's a 30-06. Shoots a nice big deer round that can take out a deer. I don't know if it'll focus in on that. So this is your cartridge. Gunpowder's down here, and the bullet is the top part that actually goes through the animal. So that's your deer rifle. I think a shotgun is an incredibly versatile weapon because you can put a slug in it to go hunting big game with. You could put buckshot in it if you're hunting something else, and it spreads out some of those larger pieces of lead, or even birdshot if you're hunting something like turkey or ducks. So it's an incredibly versatile weapon, and of course you've got your standard shell there. Of course, mine's not one of the brand new shotguns that have extra large magnum shells. This is just a 2 3/4 standard 12 gauge shotgun shell. And then you've got your basic gun for plinking. Ammo has gone up in price a lot over the last few years. I know I've seen it go up at least 50% on the ammo for the guns that I've looked at. So getting a basic 22 just for plinking is so much fun because it is really cheap. It's about 15 cents a round, which is about 10% of what you'll spend on a big deer round. And probably For what you buy 122 rounds, you can buy about 20 rounds for the SKS. So little itty bitty tiny rounds, barely any recoil on that, so it's great for just practicing being on target and shooting what you're aiming at. And then I think everyone should have a fun gun, something that's fun to shoot. This is a little bit small for hunting deer, but people do hunt deer with it sometimes. Not great on long range, but it's just not too expensive ammo. It's fun to shoot. This is the SKS. It shoots 7.62 by 39. This gun is the predecessor to the AK-47, which shoots a larger round. And of course, it's just semi-auto, holds 5 rounds. You put a stripper clip in the top instead of having a magazine that loads into the bottom, or you can just load them manually, 1 bullet at a time. So those are a few of the basics about firearms. There are definitely more knowledgeable people that you could get a lot more from. I just wanted to cover a few of the very basics of it. I would recommend channels like Demolition Ranch if you just want to see people blow up really cool things with 50 BMGs or driving tanks. That's an incredible channel. As well as Colin Noir. He used to work for the NRA, and he's a large Second Amendment advocate in the States. So I would recommend either of those channels if you want to learn a lot more about firearms. Thanks, guys. Have a good day.